You signed your deal whilst you were at university, and how did that whole situation come about for you?
Well, I made a CD of my first mixtape while I was in my dorm room. It's called A Matter of Time, and I hosted it, and I just put it on the internet. And within a few months, like, people all over the U.S. like knew all the words to my songs, and I was selling out shows. And so, by the end of that school year, all the record labels were calling me, and I found myself on the other side of the desk from people like Jay-Z and Jimmy Iovine and eventually Barry Weiss that signed me with.
Right, now, you were studying, I think, business and sociology, and I hear after you got signed, you went back to finish your degree. Were you ever tempted to drop out?
Oh, yeah. But my mom let me know very quickly, like, that was not going to fly. In all seriousness, like, a lot of people in my family have sacrificed for me to have the opportunity to go to a school like Duke, so I owed it to them to finish. And, most people in the world, 99.9% of the people in the world don't get that opportunity. So I wanted to be an example for, my family members. And I've had countless people come up to me at shows and hit me up online saying that I was the reason that they stayed in school. So it makes my decision worth it to me.
Alright, now I've listened to your mixtape, and some of the songs that stand out for me are your version of Halo, Evil Woman, and Cupid. Now, roughly, for those who haven't listened to it yet, explain to them the thought process behind these three songs.
What was the first one was Halo?
Yeah, Halo.
Halo started off as a challenge. This girl that lived above the dormitory, it was like, I bet you can't redo Beyonce's Halo and make it you. I was like, I listened to Beyonce's version, I was like, oh, this is going to be tough. It's a very female song, so I had to think of a way to flip it. So it's kind of my interpretation on that. And I got to play it for Jay-Z. He loved it, so that was cool. The next one was
Evil Woman.
I grew up a big ELO fan. Always loved that piano riff, classic riff.
Yeah.
And I felt like it needed like some big drums behind it, so that's what I did. And there was a girl that I liked at the time that like I couldn't tell like it liked me back or she was just leading me on. So she was the inspiration for that song. She's the evil muse. and then the Cupid. Tell me about the Cupid song. Hey Cupid, that was one of the fun records, like and I love when girls come up to me now, or I meet girls like on the road now, and they're like, yo, you said my name in that song. I'm like, yeah.
It must be crazy.
Don't worry.
Yeah, but let me ask you now, your song that is ringing off now, Cooler Than Me. Now, I listened to the song and it feels like every guy can kind of like relate to that scenario, like the girl thinking she's fly, she doesn't want to pay attention. I mean, for you, is that song based on real experience?
Yeah, definitely. All my songs are. And, I feel like I'm blessed because the hip-hop community was really the first community to welcome me with open arms, even though I'm not a rapper. And the reason for that is I only sing things that I really mean and that I write and that I really feel. And so, and in hip-hop, like, that's all you have is your authenticity. And without that, you're nothing. So, all my songs, not just Cooler Than Me, are inspired by real life. So, that song was no different. I wrote it when I was still at Duke on a very cheap, and I recorded it in the dorm room on a very cheap microphone. And so it's special for me to hear it, doing as well as it is in the States right now. You hear it on the radio sounding as good as the other records, knowing that I did it in the dorm room.
Right. Is that the same version, or did you have to rework it?
No, we flipped the beat a little bit, but the vocal takes are exactly the same.
Wow. That's inspiration right there for everyone else. So, I wanted to ask you now, I think probably my favorite track on the mixtape was Matter of Time. And to me, it's like a striking epiphany for an artist, that this may not be forever. And how do you feel at the beginning of your musical journey, and how do you feel that song relates to you, The Matter of Time?
Well, I just remember, I wrote that song when things first started to pick up for me. And, I would, be checking my MySpace and stuff, and, all of a sudden, I was inundated with, people asking for features from me and stuff. Just people from, everywhere that, you had never heard of, hundreds a day, right?
Right.
And I was just thinking to myself, there's no possible way that all these people are going to make it. It's just not possible. And I was like, it's only a matter of time before these people are going to have to, face reality. And at the end of the day, I felt like one of them, I'm still just trying to make it as well. So my whole life, is about trying to do something that